Revolutionary greetings, comrades. We hope we are okay wherever you are. It's Friday. What's the date today? Friday, the 30th. You are great that every Friday we will be taking your questions on documentation. We need to clarify certain issues. So if you have a question on documentation, this is the time to ask. Write your question here in the link. I will go through it now and respond. I am Ngabuto Mapena. Uh, I was reading something here. I nearly spoke about it. But let's try to deal with some of the questions that have been raised. The first question that is been raised, I have received this morning people sending me WhatsApp messages or inbox on Facebook asking about the 30th deadline, 30th of June 2023. They are saying Home Affairs Department and inspectors from the Labor Department will be visiting their premises. So they want to know if, or they want to know what 30th June 2023 means. And some employers, of course, also want something in writing to say if we are approached, if the employer is approached by either by the immigration officials or Department of Labor, and they are asked whether they are employing documented migrants. So they want to know what should happen. In the previous video, we advised you to get to the website of the Home Affairs Department and print that press statement that speaks to the extension of the grace period to the 30th of June 2023. It is not possible for the Department of Home Affairs to write a letter for each individual to carry to their workplace. So you need to print that, present to your employer as advised, and to other authorities who might need that confirmation if they missed. But it's something that is in the public domain. That is our advice. We also advise that you can print, photocopy your passport and your permit because you have the grace period. So that should not be a problem. I'm sure those who have been sending me WhatsApp messages are now answered. As I said, it becomes a bit difficult to respond to each and single WhatsApp message. We try our level best to respond, and indeed we respond. But it takes maybe time, maybe we end up responding after 48 hours, which obviously, if you send someone a WhatsApp message, you want them to respond instantly. But because of other commitments, it becomes a bit difficult to respond in time. Comrade Rejoice Nyandoro writes, will the Zimbabwean immigration give us TI PIN when traveling with SA registered vehicle with this ZE PIN? We never had problems since the expiry of the ZE PIN. Of course, in 2021, I think there might have been problems, but we have not had anyone complaining when they were traveling. But we will get clarity from the ambassador or from the consul general to clarify this once again as we are preparing for the festive season. But we do not think it is going to be a problem. What is not cleared yet is the status of a returning resident. If, say, you want to relocate and you want your not to pay duty, remember there was that statement, and we haven't engaged beyond that, that you pay 14% VAT. That's what we know. But I think that will deal with all that next year. But on the TIP, we don't think that is there's going to be a problem. But Comrade Rejoice Nyandor, we will certainly check with the embassy or the consulate for them to give direction on that. And then Comrade Mbongeni Magadlela writes, and thina esesingelawo ama-permits walungisa kuphi nxa siwafuna. In other words, is asking for those that are not documented, how can they be documented? At the moment, there's no provision to grant special permits to anyone to anyone outside the current special permits as introduced in 2010. So you will need to, if you qualify to move to, to qualify, you need to apply if you're in Zimbabwe. There's a VFS office in Bulawayo. I think there's also a VFS office in Harare, or you also go to the South African Embassy in Harare and they submit your application. So you apply, and the requirements are there in terms of what is needed. And you will have gone through interviews and the whole process. If you qualify in terms of the requirements, then you apply from Zimbabwe. They will grant you your visa. If you qualify, then you come to South Africa to take up your employment. That's what happens. Comrade Tulani Msipa writes, any hope, comrade? The hope is that the grace period was extended to the 30th of June 2023. There was a discussion at the just ended COSATU Congress. But as we know, the Congress had a lot of issues to discuss, the political issues which dominated the Congress. But there was a discussion around these issues, and some unions sponsored some resolution. We will not speak to those resolutions until they are made public. But like we said, we were lobbying at the COSATU Congress, the affiliates, and there was a discussion. So at this stage, we will not speak to a resolution that is not yet made public. The only thing that we can say is that indeed, Comrade Tulani Msipa, you need to be applying to move to other visa because the grace period is up to 30th of June 2023. We do not want to give anyone hope. We have to stick to what is announced. In any case, even if COSATU has a particular view, which we'll speak to about maybe next week or so, still there will be need to engage the government and see if government agrees with whatever COSATU will have resolved on. Comrade Janet Changas, I've responded in respect to those that do not have permits, that you run the risk of being arrested. If you do not have a permit, you run the risk of being arrested. As I'm saying, labor inspectors are visiting companies, Department of Immigration or the immigration officials are visiting companies. I've seen in Pretoria some people being arrested or workers being arrested. Remember, we also spoke about the exploitation of the undocumented migrants. And in reading one of the COSATU documents was calling for the authorities to intervene on those that have been exploited. So if you do not have a permit, you are a candidate for being arrested and deported. Like I'm saying, we will not want to give any hope, but that what is currently obtaining. Remember, we once discussed about the white paper on international migration as adopted or gazetted in 2017. We then discussed the ANC policy conference, which in our analysis was kind of bringing something new or proposing something new. And also remember we discussed this. So we discussed the draft migrant labor policy by the Department of Labor and Employment. And then some discussion documents of COSATO also speaks to some quota in certain sectors. So yeah, it's going to be, at the moment, there is nothing for those that are not documented. Comrade Makidube writes, we can travel home until June 2023 using our permits. We won't have a problem. No, you can travel. Today is Friday. You can go and spend the weekend in Zimbabwe, come back on Sunday, so that on Monday morning, so that you're at work. There's no problem. There's no problem. Comrade Patience Mbeba, you invited Jackie Moyo. I'm sure Comrade Jackie Moyo is still going to join and ask the question she wants to ask. Comrade Rejoice Nyandoro says, will banks again extend their service to us beyond 31st December for ZEP holders not yet on other payments? The grace period, Comrade Nyandoro, is for 30th of June 2023. We expect that the banks will close down your account if you did not move to other visas on the 1st of July 2023. So please make sure that Comrade Rejoice Nyandoro, you move to other visa, because you know that 3rd July is my birthday. So I don't want you to come up with the stories to say, no, Comrade Mapena, my account has been closed. Apply to move to another visa. I know you will apply to move to another visa so that by the 1st of July, you don't have problems. Comrade Nom Musekwa says, 10 years grace period, that's what we need. Comrade No Museko, that's not for me to decide on that. I'm talking on what is there. What is there is that the grace period is on the 30th, goes up to the 30th of June, 2023. Your wishes will become something else. Someone was saying to me, Comrade Mapena, if all of us, what we always wish for, or what we wish for when we're young, happened. This comrade was saying, he might be a medical doctor and so forth and so forth. So you might wish for 10 years, fine. But let's stick to what is currently the case. No, thanks, comrades. I think we have dealt with the questions that were sent to us. We will meet again next Friday, and we hope that next Friday we will have clarified on the issue of waivers. Remember, we said we do not have clarity on how, say, a domestic worker applies for a waiver. We've been asking these questions. I might say we did indeed speak to, I think it's the Director General of Department of Labor. But of course, we're speaking about what we reported yesterday, but it does not fall under their department. We hope that maybe sometime in the next week or so, the Department of Home Affairs will clarify, because we are sending these questions to them to say, how does a domestic worker apply for a waiver? How does a person that works as a packer at Pick and Pay apply for a waiver? Because these jobs can be done by South Africans. So that's the clarity, because they keep on saying people should apply for waivers. But as we have explained before, that from what we see ourselves in the website, people do not qualify for those waivers. And we've explained who qualifies for a waiver. But again, we don't want to be accused of encouraging people not to apply. What we're simply expressing is we do not know how to guide a person of low skill to apply for a waiver. We do not know what requirements should be waived. So that's the challenge that we have. So we hope that when we meet on this platform next Friday, we will have had occasion to engage the relevant department for them to then respond and they give us clarity, so that all of us were clear on what should happen. And Comrade Prentice Sikona said, what if your visa is not yet out by 31 June? What will happen? Uh, well, as long as you have a receipt, because the directive is that you should have applied. It does not say you should have your permit or your visa or the outcome, because you have applied and the department is the one that issues. So then they are going to clarify to say, yes, we are still processing, we are not done. We still have outstanding applications that we are still considering, and they will demand wherever you go to produce that proof. What just suggesting, but we hope that maybe by then they will have processed all the applications that they will have received. Comrade Onismus Basfi, comrade, I'm sorry to pronounce wrong your surname, says, are you part of the court challenge with the Helen Suzman Foundation and the Zimbabwe Immigration Federation? No, we are not. We took a position as the Zimbabwe community in South Africa that we will not take the South African government to court over the special permits. But we said we respect those that have decided to approach the courts. For us, whatever outcome we will respect. We might not agree with it, but we will respect. This is why we are always talking to government officials and other stakeholders on these very matters. So we hold the view that it is not appropriate for us to go to court, because the challenge is that uh, when you go to court, in our case, we go to court, but you are speaking to government. Government will say, but you have taken us to court. Why don't you wait for a court, for the court to proceed to conclude the matters before it? And the court, as we know, will have two outcomes. Either you win or you lose. If you win, go to court, naturally you celebrate that you have won. But if you lose, it closes all further engagements, because whoever you speak to, they will simply throw the judgment at you to say, but this is what the court decided. I saw a statement by Zimbabwe Immigration Federation that there is, the truck drivers, ADT, can't remember its full name. They've applied to join in opposing the court challenge by the Helen Suzman Foundation. So I did not really follow much whether they would be accepted to be part of that court process to oppose what the Helen Suzman Foundation and the Zimbabwe Immigration Federation are bringing before the courts. Like I'm saying, we're not part of the court, so we're not really following that. Ours is to continue negotiating. This is why when we had to Congress, I had occasion to meet with the Minister of Labor and Employment, Comrade Tulas Ngesi, who then give us his Director General to assist those workers who are struggling to get their benefits. And we did advise in the video that we recorded yesterday. The video is there in the YouTube channel. You should check it. And so that we assist you. We said we need to, from yesterday in the 5 working days, that is sometime next week, we should be submitting the first batch of those that need assistance from us in terms of getting their benefits. So if say we go to court, that's our view. Minister Ngesi will say, comrades, you have taken us to court, so let's wait. So yeah, Comrade Stasia Nyoni writes, mina ngasubmita 6 May, even now, still waiting for ukuthi uJesu abuye, maybe I will be rejected correlative visa. Remember, Comrade Stasia Nyoni, that the minister said he has put a special team headed by the former Director General in the presidency to deal with these matters. And the first recommendation, according to the Minister of Home Affairs, that the task team that he put together recommended was the extension of the grace period to the 30th of June, 2023. So one believes that they are considering all the applications. Also remember that we did a video where some workers who are on ZEP permits were rejected, or their waiver applications were rejected, but the DG then wrote to them withdrawing that rejection and said that was going to be communicated once the minister has applied his mind. And we are waiting for that communication to the affected individuals. So we hope that, Comrade Stasia Nyoni, you don't have to wait until Jesus comes. Let's allow the grace period, so that let's stick to the grace period so that we also give them time to go through those applications. Comrade Kusbindi, Osbindi, thina sizalwa ngosibindi uMabhena, but we'll talk about that some other time, says, but not Osbindi omama, uSibindi ubaba. uSibindi lo Mabhena yimanala, so kwenza ukuthi isikhunga sokusithwe nomamncane, no. Obaba bokosibindi ngabafowethu, ngobaba bethu actually. Yeah, you are saying good morning, Mr. Mabhena. So ama-domestic workers linde next week Friday, maybe lizoza lokungcono ngathi about waiver. I don't want to be then to be said that I said people must wait. Comrade Scospin, I'm saying, if you ask me to say how does a domestic apply for a waiver, domestic work apply for a waiver, I do not know, and I will not assist you, right? Until such time that there's clarity. I know there's been a lot of pressure, people phoning, sending messages, others saying, no, the waiver application is 1,550. At this stage, ourselves, as the leadership of Zim Comment, we do not know. We are not saying wait, no. We are simply saying we are seeking clarity. We don't know when they are going to respond. And we hope, which is our prayer, that when we meet next Friday, maybe they will have responded. So I don't want you, Comrades Kusbind and others, to then go out and say, Mabena said domestic workers must wait. No. I'm saying we are not in a position to advise you because we do not know ourselves. Then Comrade Arnold Mutsa says, how far is the Helen Suzman Foundation court case? Did it started already? I'm told it's coming up next week. I'm not sure of the dates, but I saw their statement circulating. I'm told next week, whether it's the 3rd to the 5th of October, I'm not very sure, but I'm told that the hearing is next week. But as I've already explained to Comrade Osmas, that the Zimbabwe community is not part of the court case. And they were saying this before the court can even sit, so that assuming the Helen Suzman Foundation and the Zimbabwe Immigration Federation win, right? We ourselves should not claim the victory that is not ours. Uh, 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 Amir Cabral says, tell no lies, claim no easy victories. We are communists ourselves. So we'll not lie to you and say you are part of the court cases and then claim a victory that we're not part of the legal victory. No, no, no. We don't want to do that. So if the comrades who have gone to court are going to win, it will benefit everyone, but we will not ourselves claim victory and say, yes, indeed, we took the South African government to court. Even if they win in court, we will not claim that victory. We will be as clear as we are that we are not part of the court process. Otherwise, comrades, have a great weekend. The football is returning this weekend. Kaizer Chiefs is playing in the semi-finals. I know the Orlando Pirates and Sundown supporters out there think that Kaizer Chiefs is going to be relegated. It's not going to happen. So are going to win in the semi-finals this weekend and play in the final. And of course, Liverpool is going to win. Otherwise, comrades, thank you so much. You have a great week. But please subscribe to this YouTube channel so that whenever we record a video, you are the first person to know. And please do circulate to others so that we spread the word. Otherwise, thank you so much. Have a great weekend. Goodbye.